Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Head of Trello, Michael Pryor.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Michael Pryor. I'm head of Trello. I'm going to give you a quick peek about behind the curtain about all the things that we've been working on in Trello. And then a little bit later, I'll bring up Pratima Arora, who's the head of Confluence, and she's going to give you a quick tour of what they've been working on in Confluence. All right, so let's get started. So the world is shifting to more knowledge-based work. In fact, by 2022, we're going to have more than 1 billion knowledge workers. And the demographics of those workers are also changing. We have baby boomers retiring and millennials entering the workforce. And so that's changing how we work. There's a dramatic shift happening in collaboration software as well, with consumerization and what I'll call the Cambrian explosion of apps. And so knowledge workers are actually spending more and more of their time thinking big and making stuff. And the future generation of makers, they're now entering the workforce. So at Atlassian, we're building collaboration tools for this evolution in the way that we work. So let me show you how Trello and Confluence will enable the creators, the makers, and the developers of the world. So this is a story about a fictional company called Open Inc. Now, Open Inc., it's a multi-million-dollar marketing agency based in New York City. They've got offices in London and Singapore, and their clients range from Fortune 500 companies all the way down to small startups. And Brian, Rose, and Nirali are employees at Open Inc., and together they're a powerhouse, creating the most award-winning marketing campaigns of this generation. Now, they're not real people, but they have very real jobs that I think that you'll recognize, that I'm sure. So Brian here, he's the creative director at Open Inc., and he spends most of his time thinking about big, hairy, audacious marketing campaigns. And he loves to travel, he's a foodie, he composes music on the weekends. He's also a creative genius, and he's sought after the industry for his marketing craft. But Brian, he hates manual, mundane tasks. The last thing he wants to do is waste time doing the same stuff again and again. But he's also a big fan of Trello, and he uses Trello for everything, from brainstorming his next big idea to planning the next office party. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Trello, we started it with a really simple idea, and the idea was to get everyone on the same page. And over the years, we built a tool that provides a shared perspective across all your work. So now, teams of all shapes and all sizes are using Trello. In fact, we have more than 35 million registered users, and Trello is available in 21 different languages. It's used in every country in the world. So how do we enable makers of the world to think big and think bigger with Trello? Let's go back to the marketing agency. Brian, he's tracking all of his creative campaigns on Trello boards. Brian and his team, they want to spend more time focusing on big projects and meaningful work, but oftentimes the tedious tasks are keeping his team from unleashing their full potential. They can't think big when every morning they have to move cards that are due today from the backlog to the in-progress list. Then they have to sort the cards in the in-progress list by the due date so they can focus on the most important tasks for the day. Then they're going to move all the cards that they finished yesterday from the in-progress to the done list. And they're going to do that for every single campaign, day after day, board after board. So imagine what are the other amazing things that Brian's team could do if these basic tasks took care of themselves. So at Trello, we're thinking about these minute details so that Brian can think bigger and worry less about updating his cards. So which is why at the end of 2018, we acquired Butler. Now, Butler is our most powerful power-up for automating tasks in Trello to cut down on repetition and speed up your team's productivity. So the cool thing about Butler is that the commands, they're written in a natural language. So your team, they don't actually need technical skills to get the most out of its automation capabilities. You can think of it as productivity Mad Libs. It's like you can build as many fill-in-the-blank steps as you want. So tasks like moving or sorting cards, based on their due date can be easily automated by Brian. What used to take 10 steps to accomplish can now be automated in one click. So for example, a simple drag and drop can now be a powerful drag, drop, mark the due date is complete, check off all the checklist items, remove the card members, notify the boss without having to lift a finger. It's pure magic. And there are more ways that Butler can help Brian. For example, Brian wants to get ready for work. So he creates a custom button on the card, which starts a task that moves the card to the list in progress and then adds him to the card with the due date. Or maybe he wants to start each day fresh, so he creates a custom button for the board, which archives the past day's done list and creates a new done list. Never know what to work on next? He adds a custom button to the board, which actually moves a randomly selected card from the to-do list to the doing list. So he doesn't let analysis paralysis curb his productivity. And by the way, the creator of Butler, Oscar Triscone, he has now joined the Trello team, and he's here this week at Summit. He's going to be diving into the details of Butler at the demo den, so please stop by, ask him questions, learn more about Butler. So we've also continued to invest heavily in the mobile space, making it easy for makers like Brian to have a seamless experience across all devices. Even, for example, the 2019 latest iPad Pro. So we've added a ton of refinements on mobile, which makes things smoother, like this one-tap option to rename boards. Or if Brian, he wants to dive deeper on a card, he has the ability to parse content easier with a zoom in and out button. And on a tiny screen, moving cards around can actually be kind of a pain. So we added an enhanced move button to move cards to a specific position in a list. And the idea here is that we sweat the small stuff in Trello because we know how key getting those common interactions has to be. But there's one more thing that we added to mobile. We started Trello with this familiar board metaphor that everyone knows that makes it understandable to so many people. And then later in, we added a calendar view to pivot your info across time. And now we're continuing to add these shapes to your data in Trello as we uncover new uses. For example, Brian, back in the marketing agency, he tracks all the billboards going up in New York City for his marketing campaign on a Trello board. But there was no way for him to view that info in Trello that made sense. But now he can. And we want to make sure that running projects at home or at work stays visual, delightful, and has all the information that you need. So that's why we're excited to announce that we're bringing a map view to your cards. Thanks. So after your workday is done, Brian, he dreams of a vacation to Japan. Guess what? Trello is a great tool to plan a trip. So with the addition of the map power-up, he can easily add the location of his favorite ramen restaurant, his friend's tea house, or even Lonely Planet's hotspots, and access it all on the go. So this is how Trello enables the makers of the world to dream big. Now, as promised, let me hand it over to Pratima, the head of Confluence.
Thank you, Michael. That was one exciting update, Michael. I'm a big Trello fan. I can't wait to use some of those features back on my projects. I'm here to talk to you about Confluence Cloud and all the amazing stuff we've been building for you and all your teams. Confluence is reimagined and is ready to be used by your entire organization. To demonstrate this, I want to introduce you to Rose. Some of you might know her. Some of you might not need an introduction because you are her, and so am I in some ways. I'm a maker. Rose is the marketing designer at OpenInc. She works really closely with Brian to bring all those marketing ideas to life. She is vegan, loves grunge music, and participates in Maker Faire every year. Also likes to build some robots in her spare time. She's an award-winning designer and passionate about material design. She hates sloppiness. She's a perfectionist and wants everything to be as perfect as rain. Rose was a big fan of Google Docs, and she used to edit and share everything using Docs. But one day, a developer introduced Confluence project plan to her, and she fell in love. Now Rose uses Confluence to manage all her marketing plans. Confluence helps her connect ideas and information she needs to do her best work. Let me show you how Confluence can be used by your teams.
Teamwork can get messy. Good ideas get lost in the email void. Team members come and go. Different time zones affect timelines, and you spend more time looking for information than getting things done. Presenting Confluence, the best way for teams to stay on the same page. It's an open and shared workspace that connects people to up-to-date ideas and information and helps everyone do their best work. Designed with fast-moving teams in mind, Confluence is built to grow with you. Planning a new product launch? There's a template for that. Simply drop in project specifications, research, and any other must-haves. Once you're done, share this with your development and engineering teams. As the project moves forward, loop in the design team by assigning tasks. You've made it to product launch day. Once you're done, Confluence stores all your great ideas so others can access and track your success. On to the next. Do your best work with Confluence.
Rose loves Confluence, but wants her editing experience to be even better. I'm sure all of you guys want that too. Rose is an avid table user and wants more powerful table operations. Being in marketing, she uses a lot of images and media files and wants a faster way. Rose is a perfectionist and wants her pages to look beautiful and professional. Other marketers have asked Rose to help, and she is very keen on sharing her best practices. We hear you, Rose. Hence, the Confluence Cloud team dwelled into the mission to make the Confluence Cloud editor usable by all, so that it's not only loved by developers, but all the makers like Rose. Even as a marketer, sometimes Rose needs some inspiration to get started. Confluence now has templates integrated right into the editing experience, which makes getting started super simple. Whether you're an HR professional, an IT person, a dev, or anybody else, there's a template made just for you. Our newest way for Rose is to get started is by choosing the template right into the editor. So no more going down in the menus and looking for the template you need. Rose can also use the Create Page drawer to see all her recent templates, and from right there, choose the marketing plan. And once Rose picks that marketing plan, she gets dropped immediately into the new, simple, and powerful editor. With the new editor, she can build powerful, action-oriented pages. She can rally the entire team around this, whether it's web designers or salespeople. The page looks so much more friendlier right from the start. Rose loves working with the new tables and uses the in-context toolbar to add rows and columns. She can use the / command that has all the macros and tools and formatting things she needs to make her page look beautiful. She adds status for each of her goals right there to look her page more actionable. She can even use the same / command to add a Jira issue link. And once she picks that, she can see the status in line without ever leaving the editor. She can add action items, decisions, due dates, @mention people, her marketing team members. The / command works like magic. It has everything Rose needs to make her pages look beautiful and actionable. Now, how cool is that? With the new media picker, Rose can easily pick her designs, either they're in Google Drive or in Dropbox, and insert them on the page. File manipulation, not a problem, works like a charm. She can do that in context. Not only that, she can also insert InVision Prototype with the rich, more improved media linking. And if she wants to save that page as a template, she can go right up and templatize it. No more copy pasting. And it's an easy way for her to share her best practices with the team. We believe putting templates at the core of the editing experience will help everybody share best practices in their entire organization. We also believe templates will bring diffusion to your workplace. Next morning, Rose wakes up and starts her day with a yoga class, and then takes public transportation to work. But Rose's team back in East Coast have had a 3-hour head start from her and are already commenting on the marketing plan she published yesterday. But we got Rose covered. Rose picks up her mobile phone and gets notified for all the changes happening right inside the Slack app. She can keep up to date here and even reply there, or click on that link to take her to the comment in the Confluence app. She can edit pages on her phone. It really comes in handy when she wants to make those quick edits. Since Confluence launched the new editor on iOS and Android, her life has become so much more easier. And not only that, we've launched a bunch of more features just for makers like Rose. Contextual Create. Now you can create pages right inside the page tree. No more guessing where your page is going to go after you create it. Inline drag and drop. I see some nods there. Inline drag and drop helps Rose keeps her pages organized. And redesign notification, one of her favorite features. Rose has email filters. So do I. So not flood my emails with all the page edit notifications we send you. We hear you loud and clear. We are hard at work to reduce the volume of the email that we send to your inbox. With smarter notifications, Rose can keep up to date with her team with a single email. Although Rose has experienced the magic of Confluence, the real magic of Confluence is felt when the entire organization of Open uses it. Every team, every department is connected on Confluence. We have over 40,000 customers on cloud and growing. These are some of the Fortune 500 companies who use cloud. 1 in 4 of our cloud customers use Confluence across their entire organization, and are very happy about that. Many companies are feeling the magic of Confluence. HubSpot, Blend, Twilio, just to name a few. Here's what Twilio has to say.
Twilio is a cloud communications platform for developers to build cloud messaging applications. Twilio's growth over the past couple of years has been enormous. I mean, we've gone from a few hundred employees to a large company with multiple engineering teams.
As a company that's moving really quickly, that's growing really quickly, it's important that everybody can put their knowledge in a single place so that if they're moving on to a different project or working with a new team, that team can quickly get up to speed on what's happening. And Confluence and Jira really make that an easier and seamless process.
We extend our use of Jira and Confluence to suit our needs, and our needs are not necessarily just the needs of our development team, but the needs of our business team, our legal team, our HR team, and every team here at Twilio.
Atlassian helps Twilio support and grow across the organization by providing one main source of truth for us to store our information.
This is how Confluence helps you break down those silos and connect the entire organization, connecting people and ideas to do their best work. This is how Rose uses Confluence and is super pumped about all the new features that are coming to the editor. Now let's talk about Nirali. Nirali is a program manager at OpenInc. She manages every single project that passes through the OpenInc door. She's the right-hand person of Brian and Rose. She loves football, Michigan football, to be precise. She also loves solving Sudoku puzzles in her spare time. She has a track record of delivering every project on time, big or small. Nirali hates tardiness and gets extremely upset when a project status is not updated on time. She's also a Confluence admin. Nirali knows her dev team loves Confluence. She also knows Rose wants her full marketing team to use Confluence. But Nirali is a bit worried. If she turns Confluence out for the entire organization, would she run into limitations? Well, we've solved that for her with the brand new Confluence Premium. You heard Anu talk about Confluence Premium in the main keynote this morning. Let me show you how people like Nirali, all the admins, can use and take advantage of Confluence Premium. Now, she can have peace of mind knowing that her instance is available around the clock with 99.9% uptime, 24/7 support, and unlimited storage. And Nirali is an admin, so she gains advanced permission controls for diagnosing and debugging any issues that come from multiple teams. So let's take an example here. Nirali's marketing team is working on a project that is not public. Hence, the pages are restricted. When one of the team members leave and they hire a replacement, Nirali needs to give access, but is locked out because the original person is deactivated. Nirali is stuck at a dead end. With admin key, now Nirali can temporarily bypass the restrictions and grant the new hire the access they need. This also comes in super handy when you're trying to debug and diagnose any sort of Confluence permission issues. And the most exciting of all, Confluence Analytics. Some people. We acquired a company called Good Software, the maker of analytics of Confluence today, and they're joining the Confluence Cloud team. Let me show you the analytics features that are going to power our premium offering that come as part of this. The page analytics help Rose and all the makers in the entire company get super engaged and excited to see the reach of their work. The space dashboards help Rose or Nirali know what's popular in their space and monitor team engagement. The site analytics help Nirali measure adoption and usage of Confluence. The new insights help everyone create more engaging content, increase accountability, and also keep their spaces more organized. The founder, Tim Clipsham, I knew I'm going to mess up his last name, and the team are all here. They're here, right, sitting up here. You guys can see them, they're waving. But they're also going to be at the Confluence booth. So come say hi and learn more. Thank you, guys. And be like Nirali. Sign up for Atlassian Premium at atlassian.com/premium. Hope this gives you new ways to use Confluence for your entire company. With that, I'm going to hand it back to Michael to talk about Trello Enterprise.
Thanks. I'm back. So I know many of you in the audience, you might be responsible for the security and the compliance of the apps that your coworkers are using. So I'm going to just take a minute and talk about our Trello Enterprise product, which we built to solve this specific need. So we see many Trello users, they use Trello personally for their personal projects, and then they love Trello so much that they bring it to work. And then it just spreads within the workplace until one day the entire organization is using it. You know, for example, Nirali, she uses Trello to track her personal projects. But she doesn't quite understand why Brian is so obsessed with using Trello at work. Because they already use Jira. So why do they need Trello? We actually see most of Atlassian's customers using both. I mean, many times we see the business teams using Trello and the technical teams using Jira. But we also see the same teams using Trello for simple projects at the ideation phase, and Jira for projects with a more structured and sophisticated workflow. Now, Trello has become basically this Swiss Army knife that people are using in a myriad of use cases to solve problems. In fact, Trello's adoption in enterprise is growing really, really fast. We've got more than 1 million teams using Trello at work. But here's an even crazier stat. Over 80% of the Fortune 500 is using Trello in some way. You know, large enterprises like Adobe and Bloomberg, National Geographic, Google, they're all customers of Trello. This is a graph of the most popular project management apps from a recent report by Okta called Business at Work. And it shows the number of Okta customers that have deployed Trello over the last 3 years. So every organization works in its own unique way. And teams want to work in their own way as well. And this kaleidoscope of needs and styles is where Trello comes in. We allow Nirali's users to create the customized workflows that fit whatever work they have, but without a steep onboarding curve. So Trello is this tool that creates a common language across the company. So you got Brian in marketing and Nirali in program management. And they both manage projects together without having to learn new ways of working. Now, Trello Enterprise empowers Nirali with the settings and tools that she needs to easily manage the use of Trello across her organization. The Enterprise product provides a central location with advanced settings to manage security, compliance, the automation of day-to-day tasks, all while at the same time delighting end users every day. So we give you full control over your company's information and usage with features like our power-up and attachment restrictions. We also have SOC 2 Type 1, SOX, and ISO 27K compliance. And we know how important it is for Nirali to put her trust in us. So we work really hard to keep Trello available all of the time. In fact, in 2018, we had 4 nines of uptime. In 2019, better record so far, knock on wood, you know, now that I said it. So Brian, Rose, and Nirali, they each have their own unique style of working. But they can come together as a team and realize their full potential in Atlassian's tools. After their work gets done, at the end of the day, Brian goes back to his music, Rose to her robots, and Nirali to her Sudoku puzzles. So this is how you can also dream big in Trello, make awesome stuff in Confluence, and get work done with Atlassian's tools. So that brings us to the end of the product keynote.
We really hope you enjoyed all the new updates that are coming to Trello and Confluence. Come visit us at the product keynote if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thanks.